Right, welcome ladies and gents. We've got an update on the Jonathan Majors trial. There's been a few updates here and there, but nothing major. You know, they sort of went in, laid out their case, left, tried to get stuff removed, tried to get stuff revealed and unsealed, and now we're finally getting into the Jonathan Majors case. So this is the assault trial for his ex-girlfriend. So this is going to be a whistle-stop tour, I guess, as it were, or from Variety's article anyway. There's some chatter online on Twitter. You could sort of, you can take a look at that in your own time, I guess. But it is interesting because it seems that the prosecution is really honing in on the fact that Jonathan Majors threw, allegedly, his ex-girlfriend back into a taxi. So the defence has to prove, beyond reasonable doubt, I guess, that was out of, her own benefit. So that is generally the chatter that's happening here. Now, let's take a look. I'll give you my thoughts at the end, because I really don't know what to think. I've tried to maintain that throughout this. It'll be sad if he is, or has been found guilty, and he has done these things. I think that's sad. He's kind of ruined his own career, etc. And it would be equally as sad, if not a little bit more so, if the ex-girlfriend is a liar. Because she destroyed a man's career for no gain, basically. So let's take a look, shall we? So, like I said, the opening statements began on Monday. I did take a look, but it was nothing worthwhile reporting. This isn't the sort of Johnny Depp case where we can kind of sit down and really watch it, and it was really fascinating. It's actually not been that interesting, basically. So Jonathan Majors has been accused of assaulting his ex-girlfriend. So he arrived at New York City Criminal Court around 9:30, wearing a long coat and beret. Majors entered the Lower Manhattan courtroom at 10:05 with a Bible in hand, and he greeted friends and family in attendance, including his new partner Megan Good, with a kiss on the cheek. Majors, who has appeared in blockbusters Ant-Man and the Wasp, Creed 3, was arrested on March 25th after an alleged domestic dispute in Manhattan with his then-girlfriend Grace Jabbari. The actor, who has pleaded not guilty, faces 3 remaining charges, this is important, of misdemeanor assault, aggravated harassment and harassment. Another charge of strangulation has been dropped. So that doesn't look good for the DA, right? I'm sure we can all agree with that. So he faces up to a year in jail if he's convicted. So prosecutor Michael Perez began by offering, and FYI as well, there might have been some further development on this, because this was from yesterday, and it's looking like there might be only one charge going up against him now. So I need to double check that, but just as an FYI, please note, if anyone in the chat knows what I'm talking about, confirm it down below in the comments. It may be that he's actually only facing one charge, and he may not be facing up to a year in jail if he's convicted, just as an FYI, in the interest of sort of transparency. So prosecutor Michael Perez began by offering details on the events that led to Majors' arrest. On March 25th, Majors and Jabbari took a private car service after midnight from a Brooklyn party to their Chelsea apartment. The prosecutor said the couple, who met in 2021 on the set of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, had been together for 2 years and had discussed marriage and kids. This was a serious relationship, Perez told jurors. On the night of the incident, Jabbari saw a text message on Majors' phone from a woman named Cleopatra that read, "Wish I was kissing you right now." Jabbari allegedly took the phone out of his hands to see who sent the message. Perez asserted that Majors then began grabbing the right side of Jabbari's body and prying her fingers off the phone to retrieve it. The prosecutor said this caused bruising, swelling and substantial pain. He intended to cause Grace Jabbari physical injury, and in fact, he did cause physical injury. So Majors does not deny that a text message from another woman sparked an alleged altercation, but Majors' criminal defence lawyer Priya Chowdhury alleges that it was Jabbari who assaulted Majors, ripping 2 buttons off his coat and tearing the pocket with her bare hands, and not the other way around. I mean, that's not a stretch that a woman could rip someone's coat, but okay. But if that is the case, yeah, that's real bad. Could she have done that during the altercation? Absolutely. So after they parted ways that night, Jabbari ran into 3 strangers on the street who invited her to go to a club. She went to a block out the experience. Oh, she wanted to block out the experience, Perez. The prosecutor told jurors. Meanwhile, Majors had checked into a hotel room and ended their relationship through a text message. So Jabbari later returned to Majors' apartment and called him multiple times, 32 in fact, according to Chowdhury, before taking 2 sleeping pills. He went back to the Chelsea residence the following morning, where he allegedly found Jabari on the floor of the closet. Chowdhury told jurors that Majors called the police out of concern for Jabari's mental state because she was unconscious and had, in text messages, threatened suicide. Oh, probably shouldn't have said that on YouTube. Fuck. Jabari was initially hesitant, but eventually told officers that she had sustained injuries from Majors, who was subsequently arrested. She was taken to the hospital to retrieve treatment for wounds. Months later, Jabari was then arrested on October 26 and charged with assault and criminal mischief in connection to the March incident, but the Manhattan District Attorney's Office declined to prosecute the case against Grace Jabari because it lacks prosecutorial merit. Interesting. Judge Michael Gaffey ruled on Thursday the defense can bring up Jabari's arrest during the trial, so that goes against the DA. So the trial, which is expected to last 2 weeks, will include testimony from Jabari and potentially the driver of the private vehicle where the alleged altercation took place, a medical professional, and the 3 strangers that Jabari met on the street. So prior to the night in question, Perez alleges that the honeymoon period of Majors and Jabari's partnership was waning and things began to sour. Months into the relationship, he continued, the defendant's true self began to show. He began to snap at and manipulate and strategically withhold affection from Jabari. Majors had threatened suicide to control her actions in the past, according to Perez. Interesting. This affected their entire relationship and how she reacted on March 25th, the prosecutor said. So I guess they're kind of setting up that it will be exposed that she did actually do those things. Interesting. So Chowdhury told jurors that the relationship history of Majors and Jabari had nothing to do with what happened in the car. I mean, that's wrong. That's disingenuous. What happened in the car and the relationship history has everything to do with what happened in the car, because what leads up to that event is obviously very, very important. People's interpersonal reactions are very, very important. I mean, that matters. Of course it does. It's stupid to say otherwise, but whatever. So the defense argued that Major's Hollywood career had been on the rise before the arrest. This is true, demonstrably. He appeared in 2 2023 blockbusters, as well as the indie magazine Dreams, which was acquired by Searchlight Pictures at this year's Sundance Film Festival. The studio removed the project from its release schedule in the wake of the allegations. As part of the fallout, he's been dropped by his PR team, management team, cut from the film The Man in My Basement. Major still has a major role as the villainous Kang, the Conqueror, in Disney's MCU. So Mr. Major's lifetime of hard work was coming to fruition and his career seemed unstoppable until he ended his relationship with Jabari and she made these false allegations. This is a man who spent 30 years working hard to get where he was on March 25th, a man with the world at his fingertips. So the defense concluded its opening statement by saying this is a case about the end of a relationship, not about a crime. I mean, it isn't. At least not one that Mr. Majors committed in revenge. She made these false allegations to ruin Mr. Majors and take away everything he spent his life working for, which, if true, is disgusting. So Majors' lawyer urged the jury end this nightmare for him. So there you have it. I mean, there's not really any other updates past this. It'll be interesting to see how this goes. But what do you guys think? You know, I think both cases are pretty compelling here, as what. At least as per what they've laid out. But it'll be interesting to see where the cookie crumbles on this. So let me know what you think down below. Love to hear it. Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye-bye now.